What's up, YouTube? Mr. LimeSC here, and today I'm going to be talking to you about how to find a spirit, and I guess an insight as well, because this seems to be the most popular question of all the new players. How do I get spirit? How do I get spirit? I need spirit, which makes sense, because spirit is amazing and highly desired. So let's go ahead and kind of walk through a little bit of how it works and how we can get you that. So the first thing to note is that there is an eye level for items. This is hidden. This is not the required level 15. There is an eye level. There's a Q level. There's many levels for items. Not all of them visible. The eye level is one that's not visible, but it's important to note it is simply the monster level of the monster that dropped it. So Hellbale is level 99. If he drops you these pair of boots right here, these treads, they would be eye level 99. It doesn't have any effect on a lot of things, but what it does affect is the number of sockets that a item can get. Okay, so there is anything up to eye level 26, 25 and below, I guess, would get a certain number of sockets. 26 to 41 gets a certain number of sockets, and then 42 and up gets a certain number of sockets. I believe those are the three breakpoints for it, basically. So that's a really important factor to know, because we're looking for a 4 open socket sword or shield, right? So, for instance, if I find this crystal sword in Act 3 normal, that is going to get 3 open sockets. This is assuming that's the maximum sockets it can get, is what I'm saying. So that sword could never get 4 open sockets. If I take it to Larzik, it'll only get 3 open sockets because the eye level is too low on it. If I find this crystal sword in Hell Act 2, that is going to get 6 open sockets because it is the 42 eye level 42 plus, and so it is always going to get 6 open sockets at Larzik. And so your chances of getting 4 open sockets are really rough on it, because you would only be able to do that with the cube recipe, and you'd have to chance it and all that stuff. We can talk about that in a second. So the important thing to note is we're looking for something from eye level 26 to 41 or 42, whichever it is, for getting the 4 open sockets, and you can guarantee you will get that in the normal cows. So that is the best place to go and farm yourself a crystal sword if you want a crystal sword, because you will always get a 4 open socket crystal sword if you get a white crystal sword in there or ethereal and take it to Larzik and use the socket quest. Okay, that's the easiest way to make sure you get yourself a 4 open socket sword. That's crystal sword. If you want a 4 open socket broadsword or longsword, you can actually take this at anywhere normal cows and beyond. Act 2 of Nightmare, Act 5 of Hell, it doesn't matter. Broadswords cap out at 4 open sockets. So you get 4 open sockets for the 26, eye level 26 and beyond completely. So this makes it a little easier. You can farm this in Hell, in Nightmare, anywhere in those later stages. Find yourself a broadsword or a longsword, take it to Larzik, it will get 4 open sockets. That is the easiest way right there to get yourself that 4 open socket sword. You can also chance it in a cube. So you put it in a cube with a Ral rune, an Am rune, and a perfect amethyst. So you take those 3 and put them together. I don't see a Ral rune over here right now. Take those 3, put them together in the cube with the broadsword or longsword or crystal sword if it's eye level 26 right there, whatever, and it'll have a chance to roll 4 open sockets, but it can also roll 3 open sockets, 2 open sockets, 1 open socket. Once again, you're chancing it. So it'll be 50-50 on a broadsword like this, or a longsword. On a crystal sword, if it's from later in Hell, then it's 1 out of 6 for each of the potential rolls, even if they are not viable, such as a 6 open socket broadsword. That would just go to a 4 open socket broadsword. So that's another way that you can use your cube to maybe chance it, but you're not guaranteed. Larzik is the guarantee because it's always max sockets that you can get for a white item. Now, moving on, how do we get the runes for it? Tal, Thol, or Am. Well, you can get the Tal rune from normal Countess. You can also get it from completing the Act 5 Quest 2 quest, where you will also get an Ort rune, because you get Ral, Ort, Tal when you do that quest, which can make an Ancient's Pledge. Hey, that's a nice simple shield for you. Definitely something recommended. So you can already get 2 of the runes gifted to you. Now, you can also go to Nightmare Countess, where you can get a Thul rune, and you can get an Am rune. Additionally, you can find these in normal cows, anywhere beyond there, just somewhere around. But if you want to target farm them, Nightmare Countess is going to be your best place to target farm these runes. And you can also probably get Ort rune and Tal rune while you're doing that. Very easy to get all of these. Additionally, for Insight, Ral, Tyr, Tal, Soul, all of those can also come from Nightmare Countess. The Ral rune, the Tyr rune, the Tal rune will actually come from normal Countess. It's just the Soul rune that you would need to get, and Nightmare Countess does drop that as well. So between normal and Nightmare Countess, you can get the runes for both of these rune words. Moving on to the shields, there are only 3 shields that are not Paladin Shields, and we'll get to that in a little bit, that can get 4 open sockets. They are a Monarch Shield, a Ward Shield, and an Aegis. The Monarch is 156 strength required, the Ward Shield is 185 strength required, and the Aegis is 200 and something strength required. So you can see why everybody wants Monarch Shields, because you're just trying to be a caster. You don't want to invest a bunch of points into strength. You can only get these shields in Hell. So you're not going to farm Nightmare and Dariel to get it. You're not going to go and run normal cows to get it. You can't take your Kite Shield and go shop it and farm. None of that will work. You can't shop these, anything like that. You have to find them somewhere in Hell, and you just kill as many monsters as you can, and they will drop eventually. And if it's white, you can take it to Larzik. It's guaranteed 4 open sockets. If it is socketed already, you might be great, right? If it's any other color, blue or rare or anything, you can't get 4 open sockets and make spirit in it. It has to be white or the gray, right? Which is already going to be socketed. Or ethereal, but you don't want an ethereal spirit. Though you could make an ethereal spirit sword if you really wanted, because you're not swinging the weapon, so it won't lose durability. So, speaking of Paladin Shields, though, any Paladin Shield that has that eye level 26 and up, so normal cows and beyond, you are going to, and so Nightmare, Hell, if you find a Paladin Shield, that will get 4 open sockets at Larzik, which means Paladins can get their shields way earlier. They can get those Spirit Shields super early on, and additionally, they can also be much lower requirements. They're not going to be 156 strength. You're going to get, way lower requirements for a Karin Targe, Sacred Targe, whatever it is, as you find those. So Paladins get a big boost right here because they can get a spirit super early and start wearing it at level 7 is it? 25? Yeah, 25. They can already start wearing spirit shields and spirit swords and be rocking both of them and be strong. You can also, for an insight, go and get your insight base from normal cows, and this is going to be the same sort of thing. Additionally, you can look at the pole arms that are going to always get 4 open sockets or something. You can try and socket one of those. But if you find a partisan, or if you find any of those bases besides a Bardiche, because that maxes at 3 open sockets overall, any of those other bases, though, you will be able to get 4 open sockets on them. So that's the place to look as well. Normal cows is great for finding these 4 open socket bases because it has that eye level that is usually going to get them. Also, don't get a spear class, correct. You want to get a pole arm for this. And then one more thing, if you have a spirit shield and you want to roll it in the cube, like I had said before, there's a crafting recipe, and it is Tal, Am, and a perfect ruby. You put those 3 in the cube with a shield, and it's going to chance giving you a 4 open socket. But once again, you're going to get a 50% chance for 4 open socket, and then a 1/6 chance for 1, 2, and 3 open sockets. So it's 50-50 if you get it. This is not guaranteed. Larzik is guaranteed. This is just, if you want to give it that chance, you can go for it. So anyways, I hope that this helps. I know a lot of you have been looking for this and trying to figure out how the heck to do it. And so this is a way. Anyways, just want to say, mwah, thank you guys for watching. Hope you have a good one. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Peace, YouTube.